the Don fan is sniffing around, and he goes over and he starts to make some noises, and he then turns to the rookie, and Nevi says, he says that he doesn't smell anyone that wasn't already here. And he says, that's disconcerting. Maybe the person who did this has already left. But what did they do while they were here? He says, I wonder if... He will start moving a lot quicker, and they will then take you to several cells, and they go to one of the... so these cells are not like the barred cells, they're more like the rooms, like you would have in a psychiatric ward. And, and there's like a glass window, or on the door, a small window on the door. And then he goes up to a door, he looks to the door, and then he gasps, and he says, Commissioner. And then he takes out some keys from his pocket, and he unlocks the door, and he opens it, and inside, Chase, you will catch up with him, and you will see that there appears to be a Jenny in a commissioner's uniform, and she seems to be like bound and tied up to this chair inside of this cell. And the lieutenant goes up to the commissioner and tries to untie her, and the commissioner is asleep right now, and Officer Nevi is going to go and try to wake her up, and you say, ma'am, and she starts shaking her, and the commissioner starts to wake up, and she says, what's going on, what's happening? And the lieutenant is untying her and says, it's all right, ma'am, you're going to be all right. Don't be alarmed, we came to find everyone in the entire building asleep. Do you remember what happened? She says, I was in my office, and then I started hearing singing. Singing? Yes, it wasn't a Jigglypuff. That's the only odd thing, or any other Pokemon. It sounded like a woman. A woman singing. Yes, and I'm sorry, the only thing I can remember now is waking up now here in a cell. And Nevi was asking the officer, Lieutenant, is this the cell? Yes, this is the cell that the impersonator was in. It must have been an escape attempt, Nevi says. The commissioner says, well, let me go gather the rest of the forces. We need to begin an immediate search for the escaped convict. And the lieutenant says, I'll help you. And the commissioner says, no, Lieutenant, you should go ahead and make sure that everybody else is all right in the vicinity. I need everyone on the force to be ready to go out at a moment's notice. Are you right? Are you sure you're all right, Commissioner? Yes, I'm fine, the commissioner says, and she will leave. I don't know if Chase is doing anything during this whole exchange.
No, I was just listening and trying to get in the details so I can report back to anybody, to the other group.
The lieutenant will start to revive some of the other officers in the immediate area. Meanwhile, Cassie, first of all, the people who are chasing after them will see the commissioner walking down the hallway, and she will look at you as if she's saying, what are you all doing here?
Everyone who's like hunched over.
Sorry, I was muted.
Well, I heard about
Sneaking around in a police station where a bunch of police officers have just been fallen asleep. It's a bit suspicious, don't you think?
It does look that way, doesn't it?
Molly won't say
Followed
anything. She'll
in.
slink back. We're leaving.
Along with the giant crowbat.
She will also make her way. And Cassie, you see the commissioner. She goes. She also is coming towards you, and she will see. She will notice that you're there, but she doesn't say anything. And several of the officers have just woken up, and they're like, Commissioner, you're right. She says, I'm fine. She says, I need all of you to report back to Lieutenant Jenny. He's back over there, and await further instructions, please. She says, we have a lot that we need to get done now before an escapee gets too far away out of the city.
Chase has followed the commissioner to this room.
Okay, you followed the commissioner to this room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The commissioner will then notice that you've been following her, and she says, "Can I help you, sir?"
I'm just with them. I'm just making sure you're all right. You were just making sure you're all right.
Commissioner, Cassie says, you said something about an escapee. Was it a psychic woman?
From what I've been told, yes.
You haven't seen this person personally?
I believe her name was Sinclair. I didn't have the opportunity to interrogate her myself, no.
Alright, well, that's an imposter. And over her course of time, having, with her perception rolls and anything, has she seen security cameras?
Yeah, of course she has.
Okay, so then, yeah.
Of course she has.
So Cassie, just kind of like rub her brow again and say, have your people check the cameras. Make sure you do that first off.
She says, I was just about to do that, she says.
Okay, good. And they told you about the singing?
I heard the singing myself.
Did you?
Right. Are you
How's your
being
singing?
chased right
Maybe
now?
it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Chase zips up his hood all the way.
Roll an intuition, Chase.
Yeah, I got something to say. Hold on.
While he's doing that,
Sure.
Hark, would, or could I roll for this? Would Cassie know if the whole humans using Pokemon move sing is common?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
Humans.
Because I know
cannot.
it's in the rulebook and everything in the system, but in this universe,
Yeah, I would say no.
okay.
That's.
That it's unheard of, or would there be?
I would say it's unheard. I will say it's unheard of.
Okay.
I will say it's unheard of. That's weird.
Yeah.
That a human singing would cause all those people to sleep. Was your 6 an intuition?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. What were you gonna ask?
I was gonna ask her how her singing voice was.
She says it was pretty. It was soothing.
How'd you end up in that room, Commissioner?
She says, I don't know. Like I said, I was in my office and I heard the singing, and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up in the cell.
Were you interrogating the impersonator?
She says, I have not interrogated this Sinclair, if that's what you're asking. Sir, I have a lot of things I need to get done. I don't know if you've noticed, but we need to. She says, but the longer that I chat with you, the more time that person will have a chance to escape.
I understand. Can you just point out the sleeping Jenny that looks after the footage for this place, please? If you can.
She quickly says, sir, I'm sorry, I have to go. And then she will turn to leave.
All this whole time is trying to get people to away from the police officers. It's guys we probably stay out of the way now. We know they're not dead.
Is she leaving the room or is she just doing
She's
stuff?
heading down the hall towards where you believe. All right, you'll head down. Are you going to be
I'm not
stealthy
hiding.
about it?
No. Just keep walking
Okay.
after her.
She walks down and she'll notice that you're still following her, and she says, she'll turn a corner and she'll say, "Sir, I told you, you need to let me do my job."
I'm just here to protect you. There's an impersonator running free. I just want to make sure they're not, they're not one of the Jennies that are unconscious. I mean, the impersonator could be me for all we know, right? Could be you.
She says, I don't think it's you, sir.
Is that because you know it's you?
She, as soon as you say that, she pulls out the pistol from her waist. She holds it up to your head. Bang! Roll a acrobatics roll, please.
Jesus.
Man, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do we hear the bang?
Yes, you do.
He
Well, I mean,
neos
this is
it.
like in that room, right?
Nice. Okay, so she takes out her gun and she like fires at you point blank. But you manage to miraculously dodge out of the way, and then she books it like down the hall. Books
And
it.
away I go.
Very good, Chase. Well done,
let that one go.
Chase.
Yay for playing
Almost
that.
let that one go. Very good. So, yeah.
God damn.
Everybody hears the gunshot. What do you do?
Run to it.
Chase! And then proceeds to run out the door.
Woo.
New character.
Yeah. New character, so I was kind of afraid there.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna book it. So I'm gonna let everybody roll initiative. Cassie or Bullet, what would you like to do when you hear the
Really quickly-
gunshot?
So they heard the gunshot, but they're not in, like, Bullet's not in the same room, right?
Bullet's not in the same room. I think Bullet is still in the... I'd like to, just for simplicity's sake, we'll say that everybody is in the main entrance way, except for Chase.
Could
Everyone's
could
in the main
Molly
entrance.
could Molly use one of her features?
Yeah, what is it? What's the feature?
It's ride as one.
Sure.
So I think in this case, Molly would, like, if Bullet's gonna take off, Molly's gonna want to ride him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, then in this
Well-
case, if you want Bullet to do something, can we have her use a free action to like give him a command or whatever?
I'll allow that. Allow that. Sure.
Sure.
So,
Well, since you jumped on, I assume that you have an idea of what you want to happen. So
would you like to give Bullet a command, Molly?
Yeah, she's
For
she's
free?
Just gonna, she's just gonna tell Bullet, we gotta catch her.
okay, well, if it's about catching, he's gonna use Brave Bird. If there's nothing more specific, so yeah. Oh, hey, that's pretty good, for a natural
Crit
20.
The hallways are too narrow for you to normally be able to fly easily. So by using Brave Bird, you basically like charge through the hallway, just breaking down some of the walls a bit as you're flying through. In order to, the Brave Bird actually whizzes just past Chase as Chase is trying to run after the commissioner, basically.
Could he move and then get to him? Or to her?
I don't think that you would be close enough to touch her.
I just
But you
have to
can-
get within 5 meters from the spot.
I will roll your what's your speed?
Straight speed stat is... I just rolled it. 16.
16 is your speed. Roll me 16 d3s. Roll me 16 d3s. I'm just curious what the value will be. There we go. 32
Thank you.
is what I got. Yeah. Yes. I'll say you can get within 5 meters.
Yes!
Yes.
I get
yes.
to use my new advanced ability I just picked up.
Yes.
One moment
What is
while
it?
I scroll to it. Shadow Tag. I pin the target shadow with mine, and they can't move for 5 turns.
Ah,
They are trapped.
Nice. You grab a hold of her shadow, and she basically, stops on her tracks, and she can't move. I will say that Bullet and Chase will be able to catch up to her within the next round, but I want to make sure I give Noir / Fern a chance to do something before that happens. Would you like to do something, Noir / Fern?
Well, Noir is probably closer to what's going on, so I'm gonna get her to like just run up to like where the gunshot came, where she heard the gunshot come from. It's like, that's bad.
Chase, you will manage to... I will say that you and Bullet will manage to get to the officer in relatively the same time. Relatively. But I'll let you go first, since you're next in the initiative.
I'll do a full sprint run, followed by an aerial ace attack. So that's just like
Nice.
a jump charge attack.
22. Yeah, you'll be able to... What does that look like visually? I'm just curious.
So I'll do probably some tables in the way and stuff. So I'm doing a couple somersaults like over the edge, just a couple little jumping over some of those turning chairs. Maybe jump off one, it goes rolling away to another side, and then finally just do a little bit of a wall run to get some momentum, and then launch off fist first into back of the person who just got pulled down with their shadow. So they're kind of getting pulled down this way. Chase is coming this way.
Collision. Okay.
And aerial, from a mechanics perspective, it just allows me to make an attack if I do a jump. If I do a jump, like almost a splash attack or whatever it's called.
Okay. She falls over, and after you attack her, and in mid-fall, you see her transform before your very eyes, Mystique style. She transforms into a big burly man. Like, we're talking like very muscular, burly looking man. You don't recognize him at all. And he basically Chase is Chase like within reach of her, just out of curiosity?
Oh, it has to be
you just attacked her.
It has to be a collision, so there's he's basically wrapped around her at this point, falling to the ground.
Him.
Okay.
Him. It.
Who knows?
And so the effect here is that it can't miss. So that's the...
Yes.
Yeah.
So you did 21 points of damage, right?
Yes.
All right. He basically grabs a hold of you and does a bear hug, and he squeezes you very, very tightly. You can start feeling, you hear a snap as if like maybe a rib just cracked, and you take 21 points of damage. 21 points of damage from that.
Okay.
No problem, guys.
Yeah, so I guess Molly is close enough to see the thing hurting Chase, right? Okay. So I think is he holding an item?
He's not holding an item because right now he's bear hugging Chase.
He's holding
So I
a
don't think
chase.
He's holding a chase. He's holding a chase. Yes.
Like we all want.
Okay, so in that case, Molly's gonna use feint attack,
Okay. Go ahead.
which can't miss. So
Nice. 27 damage. So you do an attack on the big burly guy. He seems to absorb a good amount of damage, but it still hurts him. Next is Cassie / Bullet. Well, Bullet definitely has reached the commissioner by this point, who is now transformed into some muscle man.
Yeah, and is he still, even after like Molly's attack, kind of strangle-holding Chase? This... Okay, well that works for me. So, Astonish flinches the target on a roll of 15 or above.
Nice.
So he'll be
So that
flinched.
is a flinch. Yes, he'll be flinched. Chase, the arms
Along
around
with the
you.
damage, obviously.
He flinches, which means that you fall out of his grasp, so you're no longer being squeezed. But there definitely is a pain in your chest.
Gotcha.
Can Tiffany move into position and grab and drag Chase out of there?
I'll say yes. Is that what you do?
Yep.
Okay.
And Lux is still holding, so 4 more turns, guys.
Noir.
Though I have to ask, which way
Ow.
did they start running? Like toward the exit?
Towards the exit, down the
Okay,
hall.
because Cassie and Fern were the closest to the exit to begin with, so I don't think Fern
Well,
would be that far.
You were the closest to the front door exit.
Oh,
The front
different
door.
exit.
This is a side exit that was near the commissioner's office.
Okay, never mind. My bad.
Because she went down the hall. Her intention was to leave through that exit, not through the front. Because
Gotcha.
that would just be suspicious. So she went towards where her office is so that she could go out the exit by her office.
Mm.
But Chase stopped her before she
Okay.
did
Go,
that.
Chase!
Go Chase.
Don't die!
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got shot at
So-
once already.
Nora's going to look at Chase and everyone near the woman, and she goes, "I can make a barrier to trap her. You guys need, or it, him, whatever. You just need to get off so you don't get trapped in the barrier with them." And
Okay.
she'll just say that and hold her turn into
She
and
can hold her
activate the
turn.
barrier and people off.
She can hold her turn. Chase, go.
Right. So it's either Remy or Chase. Chase is going to. So Tiffany just pulled out Chase. I mean, I'd hate to void Tiffany's action
Okay.
Or just didn't want him to pick you back up right away.
by getting back up. And if I see Molly in there, Chase isn't going to want to. Chase won't. He says, Thank you. I know your intention, but Molly's in there. And Chase gets back up and does another aerial.
Aerial ace.
Another run off the wall. Aerial ace.
I
Go
mean, you
ahead and
could have just
roll.
grabbed Molly and pulled her back, but
Yeah.
I want to give
This
back
looks
in a bear hug.
Okay.
That way no one else gets hurt.
All right.
That's right.
And then
Go ahead.
and Chase will even say, "Trap it in here with me if you have to."
So was that your aerial ace roll?
That's
that you
the aerial. Yeah, so
26.
26 damage.
Okay. During that roll, you also will damage yourself another 8 points by exerting energy after you have a,
Yeah.
a broken rib. All right, this thing is looking like it's starting to slow down a little bit. Molly, you're up.
Let's see. Molly's gonna use thief.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case he has an item or something that could hurt us.
Okay. Okay. So that is a
Gun.
12. You rolled a 12. I'm gonna roll a 1d20 as well. 5. Okay. You see that the whoever this person was ended up transforming again. This time, this guy transforms into Trenton Benoit, and you see him reaching for the gun that was on his holster. It was kind of hard for the strong man to pick up the gun because he's it's too beefy. So he turned into Trenton Benoit. He reached for the gun. Molly, very, I guess stealthily managed to swipe the gun before he has a chance to reach it, and he curses at you when that happens. And then with an amazing speed, turns around and he does a roundhouse kick across your face, Molly.
Is it interrupt? Can I interrupt?
You may.
Because I got interrupt act.
Yes, you
action
may.
I can use.
Go ahead.
Ouch.
I'm going to use Kineticist
Yes.
to try and make it miss.
Oh yeah. Okay. He will try to give you a roundhouse kick, and it's about to connect to your face, but Noir does a little bit of a telekinetic with some telekinesis. is able to make him sail over your head. He misses and he lands onto the ground flat on his stomach, and he curses again.
Molly shouts, "Nice!"
You still have his gun, by the way.
Yeah.
Cassie, you're up. Or Bullet.
I mean, yeah, I figured Cassie's just observing, but I won't bullcrap rolls because I don't want to lose a turn.
Yeah.
So I guess at this point, we're gonna use Confuse Ray.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a status effect button, right? Because it doesn't do anything. So. Yay! Let's see. Now his target evasion.
Yeah. That's gonna hit his target evasion.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So he starts to look very disoriented, and while he's confused, he starts transforming into various people, many of whom, sort of like, I don't know if you watched Terminator 2, but like at the end of Terminator 2, and he's like transforming into different people near the end. So some of the people you don't recognize, but you do actually catch a glimpse of him transforming into Noir at some point. In addition to Lieutenant Jenny, in addition to, again, several other people that you don't recognize, while he's being confused.
Speaking of, is Lieutenant there to see any of that?
Yeah.
Like Lieutenant and Nevi, they're both...
If not, I was good.
Lieutenant has just arrived, and he has his gun as well, and he's pointing it at the creature too, and he yells out, "Stand down! I repeat, stand down, or I will be forced to shoot." What is the... How about Tiffany? I think Tiffany's next?
Yep.
Yeah, Tiffany / Lux is next.
Holding turn to see where stand down goes.
Okay. Noir?
Well, no one's quite out of the way. How many people are on the shifting creature?
Molly's still nearby, I think.
Yeah, I would say we're not on, but we're nearby. So what's the radius on your barrier?
Well, the barriers can be like 2 centimeters thick. So could I put that between them and the creature?
To say that, put what between the him and the creature?
I can make a psychic barrier. 2
Yeah, you can.
centimeters
I'll say
thick.
you can. I'll say you can.
Like encapsulating him
Okay.
in a bubble?
Like encapsulating him in a bubble, yeah.
No, it has to be 4 walls, so she's gonna make
It has
a
to be
triangle like that and then put a roof on top of it.
Sure, I think you can do that.
Cool.
Okay, so you put him in a barrier.
That-
Chase, you're up.
He doesn't back up from the creature. He'll approach the barrier, and he'll look at the creature, and I'm guessing it's still shifting. It's just going through a bunch of stuff. And he'll hold it. Actually, he's gonna get a hold of it, like around the barrier, and he'll say, "Who are you?"
He won't be able to respond because he's still confused. Molly, you're up.
I do with that. Who are you? I will do a leer just to.
Who are you?
Just to reduce his defense, just in case this continues. So.
Yes, reduce his
this one right
defense.
here. There you
That's
go.
a good one. That's a good idea. Molly.
Well, still has the gun. She's gonna keep it pointed at him. But she's not gonna do any moves this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Could I use a perception or something just to catch anything odd about him? Any specific details? I mean, odd beyond.
What are you trying to roll?
Either a perception to notice crucial details, or
Yeah, you can.
So okay, so we'll go with that first. Yeah.
Actually,
Go
I
ahead.
would like to do the same thing since I'm still
Sure.
holding my action.
Sure.
And this would be rolling for Tiffany.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cassandra, here's something that's really interesting, and it requires a very high roll to notice this because of where you are. One thing that's really odd, this creature keeps transforming into different people, Interestingly, though, this is a very, very specific detail, but with the 17, you will notice that even though this person is transforming, their body is transforming in different shapes, their eyes remain the same. Their eyes are always the same when they transform.
So may I ask what their eyes look like?
The eyes are hazel. Hazel.
Cool. Alright, well, I guess that's my turn.
Tiffany, are you going to do anything?
Tiffany's going to approach now that it's subdued. Okay, everyone saw him turn into my bro, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that.
I don't know if Cassie was there at that point. I assume she like ran up at the end. In time to
Points
still
around,
see.
there's cameras, I'm assuming.
He's
Yeah.
transforming into a lot of people.
Yeah, but my brother I
don't know.
specifically care about. So, as well as Noir, don't get me wrong. No offense.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet.
Yes, this is touching. Maybe we should save this for later, guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Since Nor's doing the barrier, Fern's gonna run up with Cassie.
Fern's going to run up with
See what's
Cassie.
going on.
Okay.
And really quick, before we get too far, so the perception was my standard. Could I actually take a move to pull out my phone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can. Chase.
Chase will get behind the creature and just grapple it so that Lieutenant Jenny can do whatever he has to do. But I just want to grapple it just in case it gets free and tries to run.
Okay.
You can't touch it through the barrier though.
Can I grab the barrier? I mean, can I wrap I want to grab the barrier itself.
I guess you can wrap her around the barrier itself, sort of. The barrier's probably really big, though.
Okay, then I just block the door. I block the exit. I get behind the creature. Between the door, the creature, and Lieutenant Jenny.
Okay. Molly?
Molly's not going to do anything, but Ooh is going to finally come up at this point. Everyone else. He's very confused, and he looks at Tiffany, and he goes up to be next to her.
Here.
All right. Here's my roll. 10.
Okay, so it
9
acts
through 15
normally.
acts normally. 9 through 15, it acts normally. Okay. So right now it's encased in a barrier.
Yep. The barrier has like hit points, 20 hit
Okay.
points, and has 15 damage reduction, and takes damage as if it was static type.
Okay. So the creature can act normally, and you will see that the creature will try to. He basically takes something out of his pocket and he throws it down, and it turns into. There's this like big black thing of smoke that appears. Now the thing is, because it's a barrier, the smoke, is encased in the
He's
barrier.
suffocating himself.
And when you hear a bump, as if the person was trying to leave the barrier, but they were confused, so they didn't know the barrier was there. There's a bonk, and then when the smoke comes out, when the smoke dissipates, you see Chase in a barrier. But there's two Chases now. One's in a barrier and one's not.
Question.
Which one's the real Chase? Yes.
Wouldn't Lux's shadow tag still be going on?
Yes.
You'd be able to tell. The shadow's still pinned.
Yeah, the channel's still pinned anyway, so you'd be able to tell. Yes.
Okay.
At that point, the creature looks over and transforms back into as Chase looks towards them and then begrudgingly holds up his hands. The barrier was smart.
You do that.
Yeah, the barrier was smart. Timing wise, that was good.
Yes.
And the confusion was good because he didn't know what was happening.
And the shadow step thingy.
He was trying to be clever. Didn't quite work.
Instead, he
Quite
looked
work.
silly.
Teamwork.
He looked silly. Well done, everybody. Okay. So all of the officers at this point are now surrounding the area from all sides, and they have their weapons out. And the lieutenant, I'm sorry?
Can Cassie scan him, the creature, with her Pokedex?
Oh yeah.
Before he
Yeah.
gets completely like surrounded.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, because that's the whole point of her bringing her phone out. So, does anything
Roll-
come up when she does? Oh, do I need a technology?
I'll
or
say
something
roll a
for that?
technology, please.
Okay.
You scan it with a Pokedex, but this isn't a Pokemon, so you're not going to get any information.
Well, that's the thing. She wasn't sure because only Pokemon, as far as she knows, use
Oh, yeah,
moves.
'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so she's like, she's trying to figure out if it. And so seeing this, it's more conclusive evidence.
Yeah.
You'll get the Pokedex, and it'll give you like an unknown error. It looks like it's confused about something, so it'll just give you
Okay.
an unknown error. You probably need a
It's
more
like a side
powerful.
error screen.
Yeah, a Psyduck error screen. You probably need a little bit more powerful of a device to know more than
But
just
would
what-
Cassie know that? Or are you just telling me?
Yeah, I would say you would. I say you would know that. You need probably a more powerful device, something a little bit higher tech.
But do you think,
you know,
based upon that,
maybe something from a lab, perhaps,
based upon her result,
that you may or may not be involved in later. But we'll see.
but based upon her result, then would you say that Cassie knows that it's not a Pokemon or believes that it's not a Pokemon?
He doesn't believe that this is not a Pokemon. This person is human. It's not a Pokemon.
Okay.
It's
Thank
not a Zoroark or whatever.
Yeah, no, Zoroark, Zoroa, Smeargle.
It would have been able to tell you that, I think.
I think so too, even if it's disguised or whatever.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
The lieutenant will yell out and says, "Stand down." The creature starts to stand down, and you can see that the lieutenant is walking towards him very carefully. He starts to holster his gun slowly to pull out some handcuffs, and meanwhile, there's still officers have their guns on them. And as he's walking to them, who's closest to him right now? Is it Chase who's closest to the Chase or Molly will both hear this. The creature whispers these words: "Omnia in unum." He says "Omnia in unum," and then he falls over. And
One check for cyanide.
when he falls over, the officers will again keep their guns trained on him, and Lieutenant will go up to him and cuff him, but then he will check him, and he will yell out, "I don't have a pulse." And several of the other officers, some of the officers who are trained in medicine or paramedics, will come in to try to revive this individual. And just long story short, he's dead. But
Of course.
when he dies, he will transform into a completely different human. This human is a woman. This human is a woman that none of you recognize except for Noir, because this is the woman who was asking about the Groupon the other day. This is the Groupon lady.
Groupon lady.
Cassie takes a picture from where she stands. For the record. I guess pictures are frowned upon. I got quiet.
Yeah, you can. I don't think the Jennies are paying too much attention.
No such sounds
Okay,
anyway.
if
Coffee
we
ones.
have a few down seconds, Tiffany is going to take out her phone, type that phrase into it, see if it means anything. Do you want me
Go. Yeah, sure.
roll? What would you have me
Sure. Roll a technology.
roll? Oh. That's
2.
unfortunate.
No, you aren't able to find out what that
fail
means.
me.
I thought it was like whispered into someone's ear.
Yeah.
I mean, would we have heard it?
It was. I will say it was more in Molly and Chase because they
Okay.
were close by.
Well, makes sense then. Double one crit fail.
How about, okay, out of curiosity,
Proceeds to
what
drop
if,
her phone
what if
into
I roll a
you.
perception first?
You can roll a perception, I guess.
See if I heard it. Then I can try an education check.
Sure. Sure.
I don't.
Yeah, I'll say you can catch the Omnia part. Omnia, but not Unum.
Does she have any idea what that means? That's more so I can
Omnia.
narrow down which education to use.
Roll a general education. General education.
Oh.
No,
No.
you have no idea what that means.
Fair.
Weird magic words.
And it's not occult based, right? Like for an occult roll or anything like that.
I don't know.
No.
That's what the general was for.
General, yeah.
To try to see, like, yeah, where it belongs, so I could get more information after.
I mean, I don't want to get a player opinion. I mean, I know what una means, obviously. That one's easy. Omnia, so I took Latin and university.
I did as well.
Omnia makes me think of robots.
Well, yeah, Omni, right? Omni channel and stuff. But I can't remember exactly. I mean, I want to say it's something to do with a circle or some circle object or something.
Anything to do with the Alpha Omega thing?
That's
Nah.
Greek.
The lieutenant, when things are dying down, will actually go over to Chase, and he's going to hold out his hand to him because he's on the ground.
He takes the hand.
He'll carefully lift you up. It hurts a bit. I don't think you're going to be jumping off of buildings anytime soon.
Yeah, he gets up with. He's definitely feeling one side, and he looks at Tiffany. He's like, "Sorry, but I might actually have to take your help this time."
Not a problem. I
Sorry
just
for
need a
leaving you.
first aid kit.
And he looks up at Jenny and he says, "Told you."
You did. You followed her out of the room. Why?
She was the only one in the room, and that room was meant for the one being imprisoned, the one being interrogated. I felt it was a ruse. I didn't know for sure. I asked her to point out a person by trade. She didn't know how to answer the question. I followed her some more, and then I took a chance.
You were
And
lucky, he
I
says.
was, and Chase looks at a bullet hole in the wall, and he's like, "I sure was. It was meant for my head."
It was a brave thing that you did.
I don't know if it was brave. It was more stupid than brave, I think. But I think sometimes you can't overthink things. Overthinking things gets in the way. He's like, and then he goes for his shirt, and he's like, "But I definitely think I broke a rib." And he raises his shirt just enough where two names show near the rib cage,
Mm-hmm.
and he can see Molly Moon and then Kyle Jenny.
He sees that really quickly, and he says, why do you have my name, Molly Moon's name, on your chest as well?
You don't remember me, do you?
He shakes his head. Sorry, no, I don't.
Did you have a family, Jenny?
Not at first. Eventually, later in life, I did.
So you were a foster child?
I was.
Does White Home sound familiar to you?
He thinks for a moment, and he says, "No, that doesn't ring a bell."
And Chase will look at Molly. That's all I needed to know. Well, I'm glad we met.
He nods as well. I suppose I owe all of you a bit of a debt, he says, looking at all five of you. That was pretty awesome, you guys, says Nevi.
Wait. I got rewarded for disobeying the officer?
Lieutenant Jenny says, well, I have to say that it's definitely a bit unorthodox, but you followed your instincts, and your instincts were correct. That's got to count for something, I suppose. It's all right. I think that I'm just glad that we were able to prevent her or whoever she is from escaping. Thanks to all of you. This actually makes a lot of sense. I was interrogating Mr. Benoit the other day. I'm assuming your brother, he says, looking towards Tiffany.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of what he says only makes sense now when he says looking at the individual in front of him. And he then turns to Cassie and he says, you said that there was nothing psychic about this.
Cassie was furiously checking her phone at this point. And so, she holds up a finger for a second and then finishes whatever she was doing and then looks up like, sorry, what?
You said that you seemed very sure that there was no psychic ability here. And you said it in such a way that made it seem like you weren't just joking around or making just a slight hunch. You knew there was no psychic energy about here.
Well, I could have been wrong. You said that you had her in captivity, and we see how that works out, so she'll look back at her phone. I don't want to put any words into your mouth, but I would assume with his line of work, he could tell she obviously is kind of avoiding it.
Would you five mind if you stuck around for a little bit?
Sure, but I really want to see if I can help chase any.
Yes, of course.
Also, my brother, I would like him released. Assuming he's not already out on bail.
He says, I believe someone just released him out on bail recently.
All right.
You actually do get a phone call at that moment, like your phone is vibrating.
Knew I should have checked messages. Answers, Tiffany.
Tiffany! This, you can hear Ariel's voice.
Hey, is Ezra okay?
I've been trying to call. Yes, we
good.
just bailed him out, but like you and you disappeared without saying anything. And you didn't even leave me a note?
I just woke up in a coma and I'm in another city. And tell Trenton
What?
he's off the hook.
Excuse me? He's off the... What? How? What happened?
I will fill you in later, promise. But we're in a police station right now. There's a dead body. Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
What? Okay, we're going to talk about this later.
Yes, we are. Promise all the details.
Okay. All right. Well, Trenton's still a bit shaken up about everything. I wouldn't necessarily want to talk to him about it yet. He seems very, well, honestly, a bit mortified and humiliated about this whole situation.
Oh, yeah. I know all about being mortified. We're so going to bond over this later. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to go get him fed. I'm glad to hear that you're okay. I was getting a little worried.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, we'll talk
Tell
soon.
the dumb idiot I love him, by the way.
I will.
Okay. Bye. Click Saffron.
Also, I should mention, Cassie, since you had your phone out, you do have actually noticed that your mom did text you back. And it says, thanks for letting me know. Glad to hear you're safe. Let me know if you need anything, Mom.
Okay. Well, that's definitely good. She does smile a little bit seeing that, but then she'll just tuck her phone away after checking it. And what's the state of the body right now?
The body is being taken away by the officers right now. You overheard several of them saying they're going to take it for autopsy.
Okay, and did they immediately pick it up, or did they check it all for its belongings or anything?
Well, right now they're just picking up the body. I'm assuming once they take it for autopsy, they'll probably take all of the belongings off of it.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Fair enough. She'll leave that be then. So yeah, she'll slip her phone away and let it aside, and then look at Tiffany and said, "You said you were going to check up on Chase.
Yeah.
You want any help?"
Sure, if you're any good first aid kit.
In theory.
Well, I just know how to do first aid. I don't really have the theory. You should be fine. If not, the hospital's not that far back.
Right?
Exactly.
You
So
can't
I guess
do more
those two
damage
will-
than that thing.
Those two will head up to Chase, I guess.
Actually, as soon as no one's looking her direction, she's going to slip over and pick up Lux. Holding him now like he's a stuffed toy.
Sure.
And Chase pulls out a Sharpie marker, rolls up his other sleeve, and he writes down Omnia et una. He writes that on his arm.
Omnia in unum.
In unum.
Omnia
Can
in
you put
unum.
that in the
No,
chat
he wrote
somewhere
behind.
so I can have the right spelling?
I might have that. I might have figured it out. So Omni tool from Mass Effect. It's
Omnia
an
and
all-purpose
Unum.
tool.
Thank you.
So is it all in one?
I think it means everything, or yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, everything, all. Anyway.
I mean, out of character, I was thinking of Carpe Diem, seize the day, and then I'm like Carpe Omni. I think Carpe Omni is something, and it means seize all or seize everything.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Et unum, I don't know. Unum is one. All is one.
Well, I assume unum like uno, Spanish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I mean, it is Latin language,
be.
so.
Is that Ella?
But that's for discussion after, I think.
Yeah.
Nor will go up to Molly and like check on her. You okay? That blow nearly hit you. Are you alright? No, Chase is getting looked after, but did you get hit at all?
Molly's kind of shaking from the exhilaration of the whole situation, and she says, "That was incredible."
Do you still have the gun?
I just swiped the gun out of him and you blocked him from getting me.
You should probably get that to the police so they can put it into evidence. I'm so glad you're okay. That's Molly on the shoulder and it's like,
I just like to picture.
Molly's gonna turn to Bullet and she's gonna say, "Bullet, I should have named you Cannonball."
yeah, your combat was awesome.
That should have been your theme. Your theme should have been Cannonball. It came in like a cannonball. we need E. Like I need to see E with Bullet like hanging on a cannonball.
Brushman, get on that.
Yes, Brushman, get on that. All right. After you guys have gotten settled, the Jennies, everything back in the station is getting back in order. After a little bit, Lieutenant will come in with Nevi, and he will actually say, "Can the five of you follow me, please?"
Of course.
Yeah.
And are we just going to assume we did awesome helping Chase?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did do awesome helping Chase. Yes. Chase will, however, so I think that Tiffany was able to make it so that his rib is set, his bone is set. So you've actually did a good job of wrapping things around. He should not do any extraneous activity for a while.
No, safe activity, like babysitting a Grimer, because Tiffany has a wedding to go to.
Yes, he should not be doing anything for a while. Let that heal for a bit, at least. So you have a brace or something around your chest.
Cool.
So, yeah, you can follow the lieutenant. Go ahead.
So Tiffany would have seen the 12 names then, and they're written backwards. Yep. Sorry, I didn't mention that, Pete.
Okay.
Oh, and Cassie too, and Cassie.
Yep.
Cassie
wants to see Chase chest too.
Yeah, she wants to see Chase chest too. Yes.
Okay. It's important to know character details.
Yes.
That is all.
But anyway, you're saying, Hark?
He will take you over to a hallway, actually to the, not morgue, but it's the lab where they do autopsies. He's not going to actually, he's going to take you guys into the room, and he says, "I don't know why, but something tells me that the five of you are somehow directly involved or connected to this. So I wanted to ask you a few things. This individual, we've done a few tests on him. He's not psychic. His transformation behavior is really odd, and we've been doing a little bit of further research work into his biology. Apparently, there's something very interesting about his cells. We found Ditto DNA in his body.
Hence his eyes not changing.
I beg your pardon?
And also, I called Ditto a few sessions ago. You all said no. Sorry, in character.
So did the lieutenant actually ask Cassie? Sorry.
How is that possible?
She'll just, perk up a bit and be like, well, when a Ditto transforms into another Pokemon, their face, like eyes in particular, remain the same. And when he was changing, they didn't change. So
We believe this is her true identity.
do we know who she is?
I met this person before.
Oh,
Last Miss Odd,
Yeah.
ADE. Cher is her first name. Char. Cher.
Sherrod.
Odd. Sherrod.
oh,
I like the
ow.
name.
Odd. Yes.
Looks like Chase.
Fake name.
That's a great name.
Fake
He'll
name.
remember that one.
I'll save that for later. You've
yeah.
seen her before. You've seen her before.
Oh yeah, she came into the coffee shop like I don't know how long ago, but she came in and she was like, "Oh, I have this Groupon. I really want to complete the set."
That was like a couple weeks ago, roughly. Yeah.
All right, so let's
Yes.
move away from the Groupon
Wait.
thing, and can we focus a little bit more about the human Pokemon genetic splicing?
Is that what you think it is?
Yeah, that's odd.
Is that not what you were saying? How?
I
don't know how else to explain it.
We have a lot of very smart medical experts here, but none of them have seen anything like this, nor do they have an explanation for it. Unless you have some insight, Miss Pine. Roll a medicine, please, Miss Pine.
Okay.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Cassie, you remember when you were younger with your dad, that your dad was talking about some research that he was working on, which was basically genetic splicing. The theory that you could actually take stem cells from Pokemon and possibly apply them to humans so that they could gain some properties or abilities of Pokemon. It was still a very pie in the sky kind of theory, but it's something that you distinctly remember your dad talking about. Very, very, I don't know if you took it as something cool or mad scientist-like.
It was her dad
But-
telling her. Of course, it was awesome.
So that's one of the things he was talking about, is genetic splicing and specifically Pokemon stem cells.
Was that at Pokemon stem cells? Okay, was that at the time when he was still working with Aspen?
Yes. And
Okay.
I think you remember that was also the time that him and Aspen were having some arguments with each other.
Okay, so sorry. Really
That
quick.
was when they were. That was before the fallout.
What was Lieutenant exactly asking, or what did he say?
He's
Just to have a proper
unless you have some specific expertise on the subject.
Okay, so yeah, she'll let out a huff of a sigh and just reach back and like tighten her bandana a little bit as she's looking at the corpse, which I assume is there now. Right?
Is that her version of?
That's who knows?
Instead of
Getting
turning
zipped
her
up?
hat, she's like touching her. Yeah.
Well, so to say, I mean, it was never anything that was put into practice as far as I was aware, but maybe times have changed. I don't know if you knew, but my dad was a scientist back in the day, and this was, in theory, possible.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine it's that ethical. I didn't think that any laboratory would actually be working this far on it, but
Your dad was a scientist.
yeah, kind of surprised you hadn't heard.
He says, what was his name again?
Pine, Nathaniel Pine.
Nathaniel Pine. I feel like I remember. I recognize that name off the top of my head.
He focused a lot more on evolution, specifically with stones, but he dabbled all over the place, and genetic splicing, it came up. It just he never did any of that himself.
Nevi says, "Sir, perhaps we should ask some higher experts. Maybe some of our contacts in Prism Labs. Ah, yes. Maybe we should talk to what was our contact over there's name? Aspen, I think was his name.
She'll perk up at that and say, No. At the time that my dad was discussing that, he was actually working with Aspen, Richard Aspen, right?
Yes, actually.
So they were both definitely in on the idea of it.
Maybe
If
we need
Aspen's
to go-
moved on, then yeah, he very well could be starting his own experiments.
I believe, if I remember correctly, I think Mr. Aspen just moved into the new Prism Labs facility in Saffron, which you remember was part of that job.
That's where the job opening was.
What job opening was. I think we might have to go ask him some more questions about this. So what does this mean, Nevi says. I'm not sure, he says, but I'm wondering if all of this, these explosions, setting all of this up, why? Why would they do this? And Nevi, unless, he says, unless... Go ahead.
Nors is going to go and... Did they need to hide something? Could be a very elaborate cover-up. I can't imagine any of this is legal.
I don't know, he says. Perhaps maybe this is some sort of extravagant, I don't know, ploy to start something else. And as soon as he says that, you all get a flash. As soon as he says that, all 5 of you get a flash of the pin with all of the psychic ribbons with blood on it. When he says, perhaps this is meant to start something else, and you see the pin with the blood all around it.
The revolution.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon?
The psychics, they're
Well, the evolution. She said the evolution.
The evolution. The what?
I mean, yeah, a little startled by Chase suddenly jumping in. Yeah, she'll tense and just look at him and stop talking, so.
One last thing, he says, before I let you all go. Does this mean anything to you by any chance? And on the ankle of the woman, you see that. On the ankle of the woman, you see that.
Okay.
Does she know what that symbol means? At least it's like literal definition kind of thing.
I don't think any of you will, no matter what high of a roll that you get, I don't think you're going to know what that symbol means. I don't think any of you have seen that symbol beyond
the dream.
The first time you saw it in the dream, yes.
Okay, I figured maybe the context would elude. I mean, I figured that would elude us, but that maybe just the general meaning. Okay.
Didn't we all see that in a dream? Did that actually happen?
In a dream?
It's been a weird day. Looks at Noir like, what's wrong with you? Can't really explain that.
Everyone's just shutting each other up.
I mean, out of character. I want to trust him.
But you're not going.
But I just don't trust people now that there's shifters around.
Yeah.
Oh. Love us.
Well, you're not the only one in that room, so...
Yeah, so
is anyone else going to say anything? Otherwise, he's going to dismiss you.
Chase will just say, you dreamt about this symbol?
Oh, okay. I guess it was just me who dreamt it. Okay. Well, I'm psychic. Maybe I predict the future.
Yeah, I guess that's possible.
Psychic thing.
You've seen this symbol before. Do you know what this means?
I had a dream. It was on the door with all different colors, like rainbow. Maybe it's... Though maybe to make a logical leap, say rainbow colored doors, like a whole spectrum of colors, make me think of the prism.
A prism?
Yeah, prisms, like you shine a white light and then a rainbow comes out.
Yeah,
Prism
yes, I understand. You think that this person is connected to the labs?
Well, they've been working on shinies.
This person's connected to the labs.
Those frequent.
All right. I think we know where to go from here. Thank you, all 5 of you. You have managed to successfully prevent 2 people, at least, from being incarcerated for something that they haven't done, that the crimes they haven't committed.
Molly will say, "So is there a reward?"
He smiles a bit and he says, "It's a little unorthodox, but I think I can convince Lady Kearney to provide some compensation for getting to the bottom of this. And maybe I can inform her that this had, as far as we know, does not seem like it necessarily has anything to do with the psychics directly."
A psychic helped stop it.
Yes, a very
That is
talented,
true.
awesome psychic.
Very well. Thank you for your help. If you have any more information, do not hesitate to contact me, and he'll give you anyone who wants his card. He'll offer his card to anyone who wants it.
Tiffany will take one.
I already have a card.
Molly has one already.
And Nevi will say, "Yeah, thanks, guys. This was really exciting."
Yeah.
No, I bet you're usually stuck doing much more boring things.
Yes. And then he says, your gift, Officer Nevi, is actually pretty useful. I think that we're definitely going to have to probably, I think we're going to find that you're going to be extremely valuable in the academy if you're still interested in joining. Honestly, sir, not necessary. If I can speak frankly, I'm not really interested in being an officer per se, but if there's anything I can do linguistically, I'd be willing to help out. We might be able to figure out a way around that. As long as my mom doesn't know, that'd be great. And he says, "Your business is your business, Officer Nevi." I've never... Yeah, tell her that. I don't think she believes that part. But okay.
And yeah, Cassie didn't say anything there, but she just smirked a little listening to that.
Okay. Is there anything else before we close?
Yes, as soon as we're outside or away from the station a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, do you want to take Lux back? He's been kind of with me. Lux will jump back into hoodie, look at you, slap you under the chin, and nestle in.
So while they were still in the place with the corpse, did they have any like place where they had jotted down notes about that sort of thing, or kind of like a patient sheet or whatever?
Look, Officer Jenny looks like he had something on his tablet. Or his phone, rather. With his stylus. He had notes on his phone.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm good then.
Okay, I had one more thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Lux is not in her hand, okay, I need my hands back. And everything is plastered to me. Terrific. Oh well, voice only. Looks at her phone, realizes, would she even have Jefferson's number?
She would.
Okay.
She would.
Proceeds to dial that.
Okay. Hello.
Hey! Guess who?
Tiffany?
I know! Great. Look, there's a wedding coming up, and I think I'm the only one going for Clan Benoit, and I hate eating by myself, you know this. So why don't we go together?
Together? Why?
Come on! He used to play all the time as kids. It'll be fun!
Roll a charm.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. And if I get to the right character sheet. Ow! 12.
12? That's not bad.
It is with 4d6.
I don't know, Tiffany. I've got lots of girls that, really would love to go to something like this. It's my aunt's a very, very, very well-off person, and
It's okay if you're already taken. It was just an idea. I'll still see you there.
Why does... What do you want? You want something. What do you want? What do you want? Is this because you found out that I am trying to go for the job at the new Saffron City facility?
Okay, 1, I didn't know that. 2, I just wanted my friend back. I'm sorry if I'm bothering you.
Oh, Well,
Besides, I'm looking forward to schooling you. Do you not remember Gold's 2-year winning streak?
oh.
I do.
Wait. I'll
Both
have
you and
know.
your mom lost to me multiple times.
He says, I have 5 amazing Pokemon ready to show the judges to get this position. And if you're planning on beating me, I'm telling you, I am not going to make it easy for you.
I wouldn't expect you to.
Well, good. Fine. Well, if we were to go to the wedding together, just know I'm not giving away any information or any secrets. You're not going to get anything from me.
I wouldn't try to. Besides, I'm superior. Everyone knows that. Looks at you, pats his head. I am
All
living
right.
this life.
All right, Tiffany. We'll go as friends
Of course.
to the wedding.
Aw. Okay, are you picking me up? Because I just realized a dress plus Vespa is not a good combination for me.
Well, fortunately for you, my car just came back from the shop.
Ew.
So, yes, I can.
Oh, one sec. Chase, by the way, calling in favor, you are babysitting you. I'll give you a date.
I still owe you. That's
Yes,
fine.
you do. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna go, we have to match. So
It's green
what are
with
you-
gold,
what-
the dress I'm wearing. It's already in my closet, don't worry.
Okay. Well, I know exactly what to wear with that. I actually need to get shoes with it though. So if you excuse me, I'm gonna get some shoes.
Aw, you're dressing up for me. Click. Hangs up.
He's about to answer. He's about to answer, and then you click. Okay.
That went well. Drops phone into bag. So, lunch?
And we'll end it right there.
Yay!